Good morning, this is Larry Edelson for my Uncommon Wisdom video for Thursday, November 19th. Gold is getting a little extended on the upside, so you should not be surprised if you see a pullback in gold, which could occur any moment now. Back to this moving average, the red line here, to support 1125. Perhaps even down to 1,043, all the way down here. But any pullback in gold that occurs now will merely be a test of the breakout that occurred at the 1,035 level that I had kept my eye on and kept your eye on for several weeks, telling you that once gold closed above that 1,035 level, its next leg up had begun, and certainly that indeed was the case. We're already up over $100, about $112 since gold closed above 1,035. You can see that move right here. So don't be surprised if you see a sharp pullback. Pullback will be brief, and again, it will be merely shaking out the weak longs and testing support for the next leg up in gold. What's driving gold? Well, all the forces I've been talking to you about all along in these videos and in my Uncommon Wisdom column on Monday mornings and in my Real Wealth Report, and it's largely the dollar. So I'm going to bring that chart up for you right now. This is the same chart that I've been showing you all along for the last month or so in the dollar index. Notice how the dollar index has been completely unable to get back above this horizontal support line here, which it broke a week or two ago, and has now become resistance. Plus we have the downward pressure from this downtrending line here, this downtrend line, which is also exerting downward pressure technically on the chart of the dollar index. The dollar has not yet gone into a free fall. That won't occur until we get the dollar index closing below this line, which is another downtrend line which extends way, way back to the June low of a few months ago. Needless to say, like gold could pull back any minute, the dollar could bounce any minute and have sort of a counter trend bounce. But you can tell clearly from this chart in the dollar index that the long-term and intermediate-term trends in the dollar are still substantially lower. This week, with President Obama in Beijing, we heard a lot of talk about President Obama putting some pressure on Beijing to revalue the yuan higher. We have heard a lot of talk on Wall Street, in the news, in the media. Let me just tell you something. Make sure you see my Monday column for this coming Monday. I discuss this subject in greater detail. Don't believe what you see or hear about the Chinese yuan or about the talking up of the yuan by President Obama. You need to think of it in a different way. The relationship between the dollar and the yuan is very important, but it's not what you think it is. And make sure you see my column this coming Monday to discuss, to get my insights on that. Stocks, quickly, let's take a look at the Dow. Again, as I mentioned last week, it looks a lot like the gold market, spiking higher. I've done some detailed cyclical analysis on the Dow in the last couple of days. I believe we'll get a short-term pullback any day now, and I would look to establish long positions there. However, once that pullback occurs, I believe we're going to see 10,800 by the end of the year. That's only about another 400 points higher. We could possibly even get all the way up to 11,002 or 11,665 by the end of December. So be prepared for a lot of fireworks going into the end of the year. Probably be quiet early next week before the Thanksgiving holiday, but right after Thanksgiving, I expect some dynamic action in all the markets going into the end of the year. Year-end closings can be very important for setting the stage for 2016. 10. So I'm going to be watching these markets like a hawk until the end of the year to see what kind of indications they will be giving us for next year. Natural resources, the grain markets are also jumping up. Oil is largely trading in that tight trading range I've been speaking about, between 78 and 81. It too looks like it's about to soon break out to the upside. Till next week, this is Larry.